remembering those people who have put a hand out to me. Al Rosendahl, superintendent at Sun Prairie, who gave me an opportunity upon leaving coaching to join the ranks of athletics administrators. Excuse me here. Mr. Chickering, who gave me the opportunity to look behind the curtains and lend a hand to his staff and his team at that time. Heidi and Julie, my assistants over all these years. And frankly, all of the WIAA staff that I've worked with, both now and in the past. You go back, Frank and Karen and Don Herman, and to our current staff now. I can tell you from an insider's point of view, though as an athletics administrator, I may have questioned, I may have not fully understood, but with this insider's perspective, they are extraordinary professionals. The ideas that they generate each and every day, their efforts at problem solving each and every day, of weighing the depth and the breadth of every topic that comes before them, is remarkable as it is challenging to the executive. I'm grateful to the Board of Control, both the current and the former board, both collectively and individually, for the help, the friendship, the guidance, and the leadership that they have given to me personally, but also to staff and this membership. All of the other committees, all of you who have stepped up on advisory council, sports advisory, and so on, coaches advisory, officials advisory, that have given your hearts and your best efforts at making contributions. Your willingness to serve this organization is what keeps it great and keeps it strong. You know, there have been countless of others along the way as well who've stepped up, helped out, lent a hand, and stand out in my memories. This organization is blessed, and I think no more greatly so than over the course of this past year, with the first, and in my opinion, the very, very best Sport Medical Advisory Committee in the country. Dr. Indringa, Dr. Walter, Dr. Rudolph. This is going to be a dangerous game when you start mentioning names. I acknowledge that, and I thought about it in advance. But Tim McGuine, Jane Foose, Randy Clark, though not on our medical advisory committee, has led the 7%, along with Steve Nass, Cindy Strike. All those underwater waves of all those wrestlers across the years. Some key people that at a time like this come back in my reflections. The countless numbers of sport officials who went beyond making the calls on the courts and the diamonds or the mats, and held my hand as a new executive, trying to figure my way how to communicate with wrestling coaches as an old pencil neck. Arvo Britton, Mary Crownhart, Dick Fredericks, Hank Stillman, Mike Blazek, Paul Feldhausen, John Peterson, the Steiger, Siebers, and Schaefer's connection of the Fox Valley. And that list goes on, and there are many others. I have enjoyed the friendships and appreciated the help and the good friends in Madison and Green Bay and La Crosse in their CVBs who really step up and they stand out in helping not only the communities they serve, but also this organization and help us solve the challenges that sometimes arise in going into another community. There are many friends of the organization on the campuses at UW-Madison and UW-La Crosse who help us deliver and enjoy some of the most fantastic celebrations of high school sports anywhere. And those friends, while at times like family, we need to iron out things and make things clear, but they are family and friends, no doubt. Our organization and my memory is filled of other friends like Justin Tritz, a young man who came in a stocking cap years ago down at West Dallas and said, hey, I think I have an idea for something here you might be interested in. Mr. Clark is smiling because he was in our office, which was the FIAD equipment storage closet for that team tournament. Tim Eichhorst, Tim Connect, Tom Allen and all of their teams collectively, along with the many others in the print and broadcast media who help us deliver these experiences to the entire state. And finally, I think a lot about you all and my gratitude for you and this WIAA membership, this very special membership. And I mostly remember the smiles, the words of support and encouragement, because they always seem to come at just the right time. You're educators, you're nurturers, and that's what you do. And you know, for those at this table, we are grateful. We recognize, as do you, that we all have warts and we all have shortcomings. And when you have to stand up at the head of the table, you're the one who puts your warts on display the most, for all to see and to all to point at. But I remember the smiles, the extended hands, the expressions of gratitude. And I am grateful for the work that you do, year in and year out, to provide the opportunities for your students and to each other's students. And it's too important to go unmentioned and unappreciated, especially the leadership that you have demonstrated through the darkness and uncertainty of this past year. That's when your lights have shined the brightest. You didn't have a roadmap, there was no calendar file. You were surprised, you were disappointed, you were uncertain, and yet you found a way to deliver for those kids. And that is a credit to you. When your light shines the brightest in the most challenging and darkest of times, this membership stood up, took it square on, and overcame. You know, over the course of this pandemic, there's been a lot of talk of heroes in the celebration by clinking glasses or beating on pots and pans, and very rightfully, and I think deservedly so. But I can tell you from this perspective, from this platform, that insofar as caring for students, I have observed that not all of the heroes of this pandemic wore scrubs. Some of them wore whistles, some of them wore caps, some of them wore suits and ties. Not all of the heroes wore scrubs. To each of you, whether you're here in person or virtually, the board and staff applaud you and thank you for your service this past year in the uncertainty to kids. I'd invite the board to join me in a round of applause for all of you. And with that, I will say goodbye, thank you, and farewell. Mr. President, that concludes my remarks.